So you're going to be part of VidCon this year, which is going virtual for the first time ever. Can you tease what fans can expect to see?
Yes. Well, I know there's going to be so much fun stuff. I mean, it is definitely sad and unfortunate that we can't all be together, but I think it's going to be really fun because I think it's going to allow more people to be able to participate, and that wasn't, an option before. But I know for me, my dad and I are going to be having a really fun conversation, and we're just going to be talking about like our journey together creatively and like how he's helped me through the process, and just have a really great like one-on-one combo, almost like nobody's around. I actually think it might be a little bit more intimate too, because instead of having everybody in front of us, we're going to be kind of at home in like a safe space, and so I think we might even open up a little bit more than we would otherwise. So yeah.
And speaking of your dad, how special is it for you to have him be a part of this with you?
It's very special. He had a huge role in all of this and has been, such a huge supporter from day one, and has kind of helped me mentally through the whole thing and creatively through the whole thing. So I'm so excited to have him be a part of it with me.
And what have been some of your past favorite memories of VidCon?
Oh my God, I've had so many fun memories. I think the biggest thing for me was getting to meet people and other YouTubers and kind of see like who's in my community, and it just kind of hanging out with other creators and also meeting so many people all at once that watch my videos and, follow me, and all that is just so cool to see all of them all at once. And I think it kind of is like a really amazing reminder to me that like, I have these really special connections with these people, even though we don't get to see each other every day,
And what are you hoping that fans get out of this year's VidCon, and specifically your panel?
I'm hoping that, it's just inspiring and maybe even a little bit of a, distraction from everything that's, it's been so stressful. And I know a lot of people have been quite isolated, and I think it's nice to, tune into something and just get inspired, and, hopefully it'll help with people's mindsets and help them get a little creative and inspired, and yeah.
And you also have some other exciting news. You have a new planner that's coming out, and the fans are so excited. Can we get a little sneak peek at what it looks like?
Yes, I actually have it right here. So this is the planner.
Cute.
I love the design on the front. I spent so long picking out the correct blue. I was like so obsessive over it, but yeah, it's super fun. I'll show you we have like the monthly pages here. So this is for the month. People can write in the month and the year and the dates and all that. This is kind of a little outline as to what the day-to-day planner kind of things look like. I kind of strategically made this the way that it is because I like having I like having horizontal, I don't know. This is just basically from every planner I've ever had. I took the parts that were my favorite and tweaked a few things. Mm-hmm. And then of course there's different activity pages. Like this is like design a magazine cover with you in the front of it. This one's draw something nostalgic. So there's a bunch of different fun activities for people to do if they're on a plane or in bed and bored or whatever, along with planning their day. So it's kind of activities and planning.
And I thought it was really cool that the planner, it can be used for any year. So it's like you can buy it for next year, you can buy it for this year.
Totally.
Was that something that you always wanted to do for one of the features of the planner?
Yes. Well, the thing was, I wanted somebody to be able to buy this at any point, at any time. Like if they want to start, changing the way that they organize their lives and they just want to do it randomly, like 1 week. I like the fact that, somebody can go and get it and they can start it whenever, and there's no excuse like, oh, I have to wait until next year to get a planner because, whatever. It's like anybody can make that change immediately because you can, it's kind of customizable like that. And I know that that's been tough for me, like, in the past, getting planners right at the right time, because they're not always available. Or, you waste half of it because you get it a few months late, and then there's like 3 months that aren't used. which can be wasteful. So yeah.
I also heard that it's not just like for scheduling, it has some other features. Can you tell us about what other things are within that planner?
Yeah. I mean, besides the kind of activity pages that I feel like are nice for just relaxation, I guess, just kind of jotting things down. There are writing prompts in it, that I think are either like thought provoking or just kind of important to reflect on. There's also, let me pull it out. I know there's like, different kinds of pages that I think are useful as well. Like I try to do things that I think I would use. Like, different important date pages or like password pages or contact lists, stuff like that. Stuff that like I wish were in my other planners. And I tried to incorporate all of those things and make the thing that would be perfect for me and hopefully for others too.
And then did you always want to launch a planner line? Are they something that you've always enjoyed using yourself?
Yes, I've been using a planner since I was in 5th grade. I remember in middle school, they gave me a planner and I was like, come on, I'm not going to use this. But then it became like something that number one was so amazing for organization, but also I had a lot of fun customizing it and things like that, putting stickers on it, putting duct tape on it, things like that. And it became something that I carried with me all the time. And that stuck with me until now. And so I still, I've been using a planner ever since. And I felt like I never thought that it would be possible for me to make a planner, but the opportunity, came up for something like this. And I was like, oh, I immediately know what I want to do. I want to make a planner. And it was just so fun to create it and kind of make it like kind of what I dreamt of, as a kid and now.
You also have a coffee line that you launched and it's super popular, Chamberlain Coffee. What was the experience like for you launching that coffee line?
It was scary, but it was also so exciting because my dream since I was probably middle schooler, early high schooler, I've always loved coffee. And my dream job was to work at a coffee shop. And so, or own a coffee shop or do anything relating to coffee because I just love the culture of it. And I love, the environment inside of coffee shops. And I love obviously the flavor of coffee. And I like how it kind of bonds everybody together. And so, it's always been a dream for me to be in the coffee space in some way. And so it was scary because I was like, God, like this is my dream. And like now it's happening and I feel this pressure, but it's been so fun. And I have such an amazing team working with me on it. That's just, equally as passionate about it. And we've just had so much fun, but there's a lot of growth to do with it, so we're still building it and making it exactly what I want it to be. And that's a time consuming and, stressful process, but I love every step of it. And I'm excited for the future of it as well.
And then what's your go-to coffee recipe?
So recently, for the past probably, I don't know, it's been a while. My go-to is cold brew. So I make cold brew with my Chamberlain coffee steeping bags, and I leave them in the mason jar with water overnight. Wake up, have cold brew, put almond milk in that, ice, and a little bit of vanilla vegan creamer. Mix it up. So easy, so fast, and then that's my go-to.
And you also launched your podcast, Anything Goes. For fans that haven't been able to see it yet, can you kind of explain what they get to hear listening to that podcast?
For sure. This is not my first podcast. I had another one that was called Stupid Genius, and it was science-based. But I kind of started to feel like that wasn't the right format for me, and I wanted something a little bit less structured. And so I started Anything Goes, and it's basically a super raw conversation with the listener where I just kind of talk about whatever's on my mind that week. Usually I stick to a specific topic, anywhere from like advice to like stories or like opinions or, whatever. And it's just like a conversation like I would have with my friends or my family on the phone. I know I call my friends and family all the time and talk to them on the phone for hours. So it's a very similar thing. And I think it's been really fun to connect with everybody in that way and kind of have a intimate conversation with them.
And coming up, will there possibly be any special guests on the podcast? Or is there anyone that you'd want to collab with on it?
I have never had a guest on my podcast, but I definitely think first and foremost, I would want to have my dad on probably. I know we're doing the VidCon panel, which is going to be really cool because that's kind of an intro to him being on my podcast. He actually makes jokes that this is his audition to be on the podcast. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. But yeah, I think my dad would be really fun just because he has been such an amazing, like he gives me every piece of advice ever. And so it would be awesome to share some of his advice with everybody else because I think he has such a great way of looking at things.